Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all my people. Shout out to y'all that made it up this morning. Everybody feeling good. I'm surprised I wasn't hungover or something. Matter of fact, I don't get hangovers, man. I'm good. You already know what it is. This is San Francisco 49ers morning show. We're previewing the 49ers against the Minnesota Vikings. Let's get it, man. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked up by Aaron Crocker over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Cross Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers morning show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. You already know, you see the Manscaped shirt right there. Manscaped, promo code Crocky. Get your 25% off right now for Black Friday sale. Also, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Crocky. Go win you some money, all that good stuff. But you already know what it is, man. We're here today talking about the San Francisco 49ers, the playoff San Francisco 49ers. They are currently in the 7th spot right now. They're in the 7th spot. A couple weeks ago, if you were to mention 49ers in playoffs in the same sentence, most people would be like, man, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you drunk? But here we are. 2 wins in a row. 49ers are here in position to really kind of get in the driver's seat right now, especially after a New Orleans Saints loss, or gotta say, I'm my homeboys from New Orleans. All right. After the New Orleans Saints lost to the Buffalo, was it the Buffalo Bills? No, yeah, Buffalo Bills. So that definitely helped the 49ers. Hey, listen, Cowboys, they got their ass kicked last night. That helps that. I don't know if it helps the 49ers. It definitely puts the 49ers in position to, I don't know, compete with them, I guess. We don't know what's going on in the NFC East. Right now, Cowboys, they still the number 1 team in the NFC East. So it doesn't really, I guess, make a difference for the 49ers. But anyway, 49ers are in a great position right now. You're tied. You're not tied yet. You're right there in that 7th spot. A win against the Minnesota Vikings actually puts the 49ers in the 6th spot. And right now, and if you look at the 49ers moving forward, they have the most favorable schedule moving forward. You know, you got to play the Rams again. We know that's going to be a game. Got to play the Seahawks again. For whatever reason, they play the 49ers tight all the time. That's going to be a game. But overall, man, the 49ers are in a great spot. And who would have thought? And, you know, we talked about it before. It's really not about how you start. And my guy, Will Blackman, he was on Spaces with us. And he talked about how at some point in the Super Bowl year with the New York Giants, you know, they had lost 4 straight games. And they were kind of, you know, the train was falling off the tracks. But they had good leadership. They had veterans. And they were able to get back on track and get right. And right now, the 49ers are in that space. And again, I'm not saying 49ers are going to go and win a Super Bowl, but they're in that space to where it's like, all right, get back on track, get right, one game at a time. That's how they're thinking. With us, it's like, man, what you got to do? Okay, what moves they got to make the playoffs? Okay, who we need to do? Okay, they got to beat this team. Okay, they got this team coming up. We can look at everything moving forward. But 49ers, they're taking it one game at a time, you know, and right now, yeah, man, they're in a great spot. So we're going to get into the 49ers against the Minnesota Vikings. I appreciate everybody that's in here waking up with me on this morning. Hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving filled with food and football, which mine definitely was. Matter of fact, I passed out, man, maybe about, I don't know, 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock out. Next thing I know, I wake up on the couch, and it's like 5 a.m. Haven't been able to go back to sleep since then. So I'm up, man. I'm up. We gotta take care of business, man. We must get home field advantage. 49ers will have to probably win out. Here's the tough thing. Can't see 49ers can have. I don't think they can have home field. I don't think they can have a home playoff game regardless. Because 49ers ain't winning the NFC West because they lost twice to Arizona. So, you know, on top of you needing Arizona to lose hella games, they have 2 losses right now, so they're 3, but they also own the tiebreaker with the 49ers. So the 49ers are a long shot to actually win the NFC West. So I can't see that happening. I don't think 49ers will be able to get home field advantage. I'll get Underdog Fantasy when I turn 18. I promise. Yeah, man. Hey, when you turn 18, Underdog Fantasy, man. Promo code Crocky. Let's go. Hopefully, I still got a sponsor with them. I do really good with this, so I'm pretty sure they'll probably renew my deal with them. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take care at home against the Vikings. My bad. You are correct, man. You're right. 49ers for sure got to take care of business against the Minnesota Vikings. And how are they going to do that? All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about who the Vikings are. I talked about this a little bit before, how just the talk around the 49ers, the Vikings, it's similar to 2019, where 2019 49ers obviously number one seed in the NFC. You had the Vikings, they were playing well at that time, that late stretch down the field. And heading into the game, a lot of people were like, hey, the Vikings, I'm taking the Vikings over the 49ers. There was a lot of that. Now, I think everybody right now, no, but they won't really admit to that, right? People won't say like that was the conversation, but that's what, if you go back to that time, people were really scared of the Vikings, and a lot of people were picking the Vikings over the 49ers in that divisional game. And this reminds me of that, like where everybody's talking about everything that the Vikings does so well, which there are things they do well. I think they run the ball well with Dalvin Cook. They definitely have a vertical passing game. When you look at Kirk Cousins' numbers, 21 touchdowns, 2 picks. We'll get into that. Throwing the ball downfield. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Adam Thielen, and everybody talks about everything that they do so well and why it's going to be so difficult for the 49ers. And they don't talk about all the things that the 49ers have going for them. And they've made it to where the Vikings are like, yeah, they're 3-point dogs in this game. I think we all know that. You get 3 points when you're playing at home. So if this was a neutral site field, it would be a pick 'em. And I get that, but there are a lot of people that are like, they're scared. These teams mirror each other extremely well, just like they did 2019. 2019, they were pretty much the same team, built on stout defense, wanting to work through the run, then big play actions. Just the schemed up shot plays, right? They mirrored each other, with how they played. And I think that's the case right now. And even more so than mirroring each other with how they play. I mean, their record is the same. They're both 5-5. They're both on 2-game winning streaks moving forward. I'll tell you what the big difference is right now. One thing that I've seen consistently with the Minnesota Vikings. 1 second, let me close this door. My wife is, I don't know, she cooking something or got a blender going. 1 second. The big difference right now that I've seen with the Minnesota Vikings as opposed to the 49ers is the 49ers or the Minnesota Vikings, they jump out to leads. They've done that to I was just watching the Baltimore game over. It was 14-3, Vikings were up. Now, Vikings ended up losing in a shootout. I think the final score is 34-31. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, I mean, he could definitely play at a high level. But they jumped out in the big lead in that game. They jumped out in the big lead against the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, Green Bay came back, made it a game, and they kind of had that back and forth late, but ended up being a shootout. You see some of the things that they're able to do to really build these leads up, and then they just ultimately lose them. We had our guy Luke on Locked On 49ers. If you guys don't listen to Locked On 49ers, and we are now on YouTube. So on YouTube, I ain't saying you got to leave this show right now, but type in Locked On 49ers. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting close. We just started this up, Monday? I think we had our first episode Monday on there, or maybe Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night, I think. And we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. So Locked On 49ers, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, but also listen to the show as well on podcasts and whatnot. But we're looking at that, and Luke Braun brought up how in like every game, the Vikings have led by at least 7 points in the first half. It was something along those lines. All right. So they jump out to leads. And now the 49ers don't want to get in that position, right? I think most people would tell you the 49ers can't play if you get down 7. I don't think that's the case. I saw the 49ers against Packers fall down, 17-0. Now, obviously, if the 49ers want to run the ball 40 times, it's not ideal to fall behind. But, and I think everybody just says that the 49ers have to play a certain way to win. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they have to run the ball 40 times to win. I just think that's the most ideal way for the 49ers to win. Ooh, that's good. That's refreshing. Appreciate the subscription on Locked On 49ers. See y'all coming in here saying y'all up there. Let's go. All right. We can't take our foot off the gas if we are up 17-0 at half. We need to work on our ass no matter what team it is in the situation and play our best football for 90 minutes. I agree. I play the best football, but I can't even. The 49ers haven't really been, outside the last couple weeks, I guess they have really jumped out the leads, but I think with the way the 49ers play, man, they definitely want to be able to control the clock a little bit more. I hear that narrative, but I think that's everybody, right? Don't most teams want to run the ball well, work the clock, sustain long drives? Like most teams want to do that. Now, obviously, teams score different ways. There are some that, get the ball upfield quicker. But if you ask most coaches to their core, what's going to lead to victory? Run the ball well, control the clock, don't turn the ball over, play good defense, win the game. So 49ers have done that to a T the last couple of weeks. Now, can you keep it going? And again, I don't know if that's sustainable, but I do think that the 49ers can win in a different way, more so than 90 minutes. I glossed over that. Shout out to my guys, Nothing But Niners in here. Who is this? Is this Mike? Definitely would like. Mike, you want to come on and if this is Mike or Nick, whoever, come on and discuss this Vikings game with me. But yeah, 49ers, they can win different ways. I just think the ideal way is to really control the clock, which again, how sustainable is that every week to be able to win that way? I think that's tough, especially when you have a defense that can play well, but I don't think the defense is like dominant. Croc, do you think Norman or Mosley will be on Jefferson? Oh, so far what we've seen from the 49ers, they haven't. I think Mosley shadowed DK Metcalf, and he played well against DK. I think he shadowed DK most of that game because I remember him lining up, breaking up a slant route on the right side. I remember him running down the field with him on the left side on the go route where he was trailing and he broke it up late. So they did some of that with Mosley early in the year. We'll be curious to see if they do that in this game as well. I would. That wasn't something. Oh, he said, okay. So my guy Mike, he's working right now, so he can't come right now. But that's not something that I think we've seen consistently, but I'll pay a little bit more attention to see like when they do that, when they utilize that, when they pull that out. But yeah, I don't think that's something that the 49ers have just consistently done. With most of the defensive front out, they need to take advantage of it. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I feel like with the 49ers, every time we think that there's something that they should take advantage of, they just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like every time there's a, it's like, hey, this DB is out, or hey, this safety is out, or oh man, like, this offensive line is just beat up. They're injury riddled. And then you think the 49ers will really be able to take advantage of that, and they just don't do it. They just don't. What game was it early on where a team was missing like their whole O-line, and I think the 49ers are supposed to like just get super, pass rush, and they're like just couldn't get back there. That was a game early on. One of the games that they was it the Bears game? Bears were bad. 49ers were supposed to be able to dominate them up front. Definitely didn't do that. Obviously, we saw the Cardinals game. I mean, they were without their quarterback, receivers, JJ Watt, and the 49ers still, got their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. When it comes to something that the 49ers are supposed to be able to take advantage of, seems like more times than not, they're not able to do it for whatever reasons. And I couldn't even tell you why. Packer game, no Bakhtiari, no, I think that was the game. I think that was the game. The Packers game where the left tackle. The left tackle, yeah, it was like, and they were down to like the third left tackle. And it was like, oh, yeah, 49ers going to dominate. and they just didn't do it. They just didn't do it. Matter of fact, they came out kicking the 49ers' ass. Kyle Shanahan likes green bean casserole. Yeah, I don't know. I like that more than turkey, but I'm definitely not a green bean casserole type person. Appreciate everybody that's in here. Everybody's in the chat right now. Shout out to all the new listeners, all the new subscribers. If you are new to the channel and you like this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I think right now I'm going to go ahead and again, this won't be like a super long episode, but get the callers on, get you guys in here, pick your guys' brains a little bit. I do want to say again, I started off talking about the Vikings and some of the things that they do well. And again, I think they do a really good job really running the rock. I mean, you got Dalvin Cook. Dalvin is a special running back. He's one of my favorite running backs to watch in the NFL right now. Fluid mover. He's explosive. He runs hard, runs strong. I think first and foremost, you want to try to take him away. I think the same way that the Vikings probably want to, get off against the 49ers, like the way they want to, take away the 49ers run game and make Garoppolo have to beat you. I think you could say the same thing for the 49ers, like take away Dalvin Cook and make Kirk Cousins have to beat you, because Kirk Cousins will put the ball in risky spots. He has taken care of the ball. They have 2 interceptions. He's thrown 2 picks on the year. But I'm here to tell you, man, I watched that Vikings game and he put that ball in harm's way several times. He put the ball in harm's way several. So there were about 3 different times where I'm like, oh, Savage is about to pick that off. Savage should pick that off. About 3 times. And he did. And Savage did. There was one deep one where Savage just dropped it. There was one that Savage actually did pick off, but they called roughing the passer because the quarterback got tackled. And there was another one where at the end of the game that should have sealed the game, where Savage caught the ball, but when he hit the ground, they actually called it an interception. But when they looked at the replay, it was like, oh, no, it's not a pick. It kind of slid like down to his hip or something like that. So only 2 picks on a year for Kirk Cousins, but at least in that Packers game, he was putting that ball in harm's way. Now, again, I've watched him and I watched him in that game. I watched him against the Ravens, and they will air that hole out. They will stretch the field. The one thing I will say is the 49ers haven't been prone to giving up the deep ball outside of some early pass interferences in the year. I don't think throwing the ball down the field or defending deep passes has really been an issue for the 49ers. So we'll see. I think ideally when listening to Luke Braun talk about Kirk Cousins, like he wants to play in rhythm. He wants to check the ball down. They've actually had to force him to throw the ball deep, the coach. And I'm like, man, I wonder if Kyle Shanahan could do that for Jimmy Garoppolo. But the coach had to tell him, like, Kirk, listen, now I'm looking in the camera. Listen, throw the ball downfield. And then Kirk Cousins started throwing the ball downfield. They said he had to sit him down and everything. Like, man, dude, throw the ball downfield, pull the trigger. So they will take their shots. I think the best thing the 49ers can do when they do take their shots is, man, hopefully that rush is there. Because if your rush gets there, it's going to affect the way the ball is thrown. You maybe have to throw it before you want to. That's when interceptions can happen. So there is a lot of good that they do with the offense, but there's also a lot of good that the 49ers do with their offense. And I think the 49ers have done a tremendous job really just running the rock, really being able to work off of play action. Haven't done play action as much lately, a little bit more straight drop backs, but Jimmy Garoppolo, as long as they can keep him in those short situations, he's really good in that area. He'll be really efficient on those third and intermediate downs. I think ideally that's what the 49ers want to get into, but I think they can. Now, another thing that the 49ers have really going for themselves, and I think everybody talks about the weapons that the Vikings have. Oh, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. How do you stop Justin Jefferson? How do you stop Deebo Samuel? You know what I'm saying? How come we don't ever hear that? Everybody talks so much about Justin Jefferson. He's a really good football player. He's really good. How are they going to stop Deebo? What are they going to do to limit Deebo's production? What can you do to limit Deebo's production? I don't know what you do. If I'm an opposing team, I know going into the game, like, hey, we want to really shut down Deebo Samuel. But how do you do it? Because they get the ball in his hands every type of way, and they've shown the ability to stretch the field with him. Obviously, he can catch slants, and he can get up out of there and score touchdowns, outrun defenses, and Vikings defense is not fast. Would not be surprised Deebo have a nice big catch and run Definitely think that's a possibility. Definitely that's something that's likely to happen. You got George Kittle. How y'all gonna stop George Kittle? Brandon Ayuk's coming on. How y'all like 49ers got weapons too? You know the famous saying, right? When people like, somebody pull out a gun, and you're like, man, we got guns too. Like, bro, we got weapons too. 49ers got weapons too. How come nobody's talking about that? Everything has just been about the Vikings and the guys that they have and how scary they are. And I'm not saying that they're not good, but the 49ers got weapons too, man. So I want to know how they're gonna stop them. I think when it comes to like defense versus defense, right? Which defense is better? I like the 49ers defense over the Vikings defense. I do. Obviously, I like Kendricks, really good. Harrison Smith is a little older, but he still can get you. He can burn you because he's a smart guy. Right. Look, they're 5-5 too, man. What we talking about? Here we go. The real question is how are they going to slow down Jimmy? Jimmy he's a how can I explain this? Because I don't think you go into it saying we got to stop Jimmy Garoppolo. Right? He's not really that type of quarterback. I think it's more so like let's just stop some of the things that we know lead to Jimmy Garoppolo having success. Which I think that would be we got to stop the run game, put him in third and long situations, condense the field, make him throw outside the numbers. I think that's how you want to, limit Jimmy Garoppolo's efficiency. All right, but here we go, man. Enough of me talking. Obviously, I think this is going to be a terrific game. We'll get into some game predictions or whatever, but I'm going to bring you guys on live now. Before we get into that, make sure and go ahead, click the link, come on live. If you're new to this, click the link, come on live, man. Let's talk about it. Talk about what's going on, how you feel about this game, 49ers against the Minnesota Vikings. Also, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Crocky. Make sure you guys do that. We'll see if they have any 49er player props now. For some reason, my headset is like not linked or whatever to I have my headphones right here, but it's like not linked or whatever. So I'm gonna have the earbuds in today. Okay, my guy Rich said I was actually messing with you. Deebo is averaging 7.2 yards per carry. Right. Crazy. 7.2 yards per carry. And his yards per catch is tremendous too, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at Deebo Samuel's. His yards per catch is like it's got to be near the top of the league. Let's see. Reference. Yeah, 18.1 yards per catch. 6 yards away from 1,000. All right, so Deebo's getting off. You know what I'm saying? Like every time he touches the ball, he's doing something extremely productive with it. So I think that's awesome. Awesome stuff by Deebo. How are they going to stop Deebo? That should be the question. Hopefully I got my headset in right now. But here we go. Let me make sure that I'm listening on the right thing. 1 second, y'all. Fix my audio real quick. All right, here we go. First guy up, my guy Darius. What's good, Darius? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm really doing great, actually, bro. It was a good Thanksgiving. Raiders pulled it off. Uh, and the Saints lost, so it was all good. Then I wake up this morning. I didn't even expect this. Then I get the alert. I'm on the subscribe. I'm on the alert. I'm on all that noti gang, man. What do they call it? Notification gang. I'm
Yeah.
I'm with that, man. So I seen it. I said, oh yeah, that's a no brainer. Click and yeah, man. Talking about these Niners, bro. I feel like it's gonna come down to defense, man. And we have the better defense. I do expect to win. Offensively, they want to do the same thing we want to do. They want to run the ball. They got two receivers that's gonna get out there and do their thing. I haven't really been checking up on the tight end like that. I know he's pretty decent though. He has hands, but it's gonna come down to the defense. They have poor defense, and if we could just exploit the run defense, I feel like it should go our way. Kyle's going to do everything that he wants to do. He wants to control the time of possession. We know that he wants to run, and he wants to give Jimmy those slants. And I'm just hoping that Jimmy doesn't start to show his old ways because the Vikings, they can pretty much take away that middle. They know how to do that.
Right.
They played us enough times, you know what I'm saying? And Jimmy just he looks different when he can't throw it to you. That slant, 5, 10 yard slant, he's not throwing no outs. And I don't know why. Like I remember I've seen Juwan Jennings, he did like a 5 and an out, ran towards the numbers, and he wouldn't give it to him. He took the sack instead. I'm like, damn, Jimmy, like are you really that scared to make that throw? So, with that being said, please, Niner fans, start going to bat for our secondary. I feel like because they're not getting publicity, they're not in the spotlight, they're not being talked about on ESPN. It's assumed that we have garbage corners and yada yada yada. Like, no, we don't. They're pretty good. Like the penalties is one thing, but when it just comes to coverage, like I cannot knock them because they don't give up the big. They don't give it up like that. They do in the red zone. Don't get me wrong. Josh Norman has been scored on, and that's my guy. I'm a ride with him. But they're taking the ball away, Josh Norman. Uh, the coverage is decent, and they're giving us the 3 and outs. Like that's where it's coming from, really. They're stopping the short passes, and I get irritated because it's like you think about the Niners and they can't guard nobody. Like, well, how the hell do you know that? Like, I mean, a couple of bad,
And,
you know
and,
what I'm
and the
saying?
crazy thing, and
Like,
that's why I tell people watch other teams around the league, like Cowboys, Anthony Brown yesterday. And I thought some of them were bad calls,
oh
but
my
he got called
God,
for pass interference 4 times. You know what I'm saying? He got called for PI
come
four
on,
times in one game, and ultimately they had the one down the stretch that ended up making the Cowboys lose. But like, I feel like 49er fans only watch 49er football. So when something happens against the 49ers, it's just like, oh man, our
right?
corners suck so bad. But it's like, do y'all watch other teams? Because these teams are getting bombed on. Like we talk about everything that Justin Jefferson does, right? Like, oh, oh man,
Yeah,
these big plays, he does this, he does that. Well, who the hell is he doing
right.
it to? He's doing it on the opposing team's DBs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
and it's
preach,
like we
bro.
don't notice that. It's just like,
Preach.
oh, we just noticed that, he caught a deep ball. It's like, no, he's burning DBs, like he's whooping guys, right? Like, so everybody looks at the issues with the 49ers and their secondary, and it's like, man, there are a lot worse secondaries in the NFL
Hmm.
than what the 49ers have right now from a production
Yeah.
standpoint.
There's only one receiver that stands out that cooked us, bro. And that was Devontae Adams, and he's a Hall of Famer in his own right. Like,
Right.
besides him, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody really just cooked us like that. You get them dumbass pass interferences, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody really just ran a route and caught it over Jimmy Ward or somebody, like going down deep. I'm out of here. The one boy got away with one on our rookie in Philly, Quez. But other than that, like, come on, man, stop dogging us like that, man. We got more problems on that defensive line than we do in the secondary.
All right, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But what you think? What you think about it? What you think is the biggest key for our victory?
All right, I think it's definitely like, just the front end playing well, right? Like just getting pressure on Kirk Cousins, just moving him off of his spot. And again, the Vikings, there's gonna
Right.
be times where they want to take their shot. And when they do, you gotta make Kirk Cousins kind of rush through that process. So he's not comfortable and he kind of just puts the ball up for grabs and hopefully one of your guys makes a play on the ball. But at some point they will take that shot. But yeah, I think that the biggest thing is
Yeah, that's a fact.
getting that pressure on the quarterback. That's something that the 49ers have really been lacking.
All right. And I want to say this too. I really hope. I don't know how it works, right, in the NFL or whatnot, as far as shadowing people. I don't know if the coaches do that or not, but I hope that Josh Norman puts his pride aside and just tells Mosley, "Hey, look, man, guard this youngster. I'm gonna get Thielen. You know what I mean? The OGs gonna guard each other, and the young cats go at it, man. Please don't get out there, cause that boy he can run some routes. I'm not gonna take nothing from him. That little dude is fast, man. And Josh is my boy, but we can't afford nothing to get in the way of this success right now. We got a ball that's rolling, And I don't care who we beat. It's a win, you know what I'm saying? In the NFL, so it's like you got to take that momentum, you got to run with it, because we're gonna need it in Seattle. I don't know why we can't beat these dudes in Seattle. Every time we win in Seattle, it's like a fucking Christmas miracle, and it's like if Cardinals can do it with their backups, we can do it, man. It's like go in there, kick their ass. I don't care about Cincinnati if we win or lose because they're not in the conference. We have to
Now
beat
you still need to
Atlanta.
win though, just for playoff
We got to
positioning
go
and
out on
stuff.
this win streak, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do. Well, you're right. Let me take that back. You're right about that. But it's like we got to run this gauntlet, man. We do. We got to run the table. We have to get on this because it's working. Everything that they're doing is working right now, and I'm not mad at it. Kyle is calling these games. He's not getting scared no more. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not abandoning what's working. Even if it's not working, he's not giving up on it. It's going to work eventually. You wear these dudes down. You run right, you run left, you run right, you run left. Eventually, them tackles get tired of running after you. Them defensive ends get tired. And I just want to see him keep it going, man. Other than that, I hope you have a blessed day. Croc, listen, bro. You better than a therapist, man. I'll be needing this show. You understand me? Hey, you understand me, man? If it
I'm
get great Atlanta,
49ers
man,
therapist, man. That's what I'm on here for.
listen. Oh, and another thing too, hey y'all got to go check out uh what's it called with you and Peacock Locked In
Oh yeah,
Niners.
yeah.
Oh,
Locked
that's
on
dope. That's a
49ers.
dope show. That's a dope show,
Yeah,
man. Y'all don't got enough of
appreciate that.
those, bro.
Yeah, we on YouTube now, so we just got the approval, got everything set up.
Okay,
We got a few shows on YouTube now, so yeah, we'll be on there 5 days a week. We just don't go
I ain't gonna
live.
lie,
I think
man.
we'll
Okay,
after the game though for sure, but we typically just don't go live. I think that's what
okay, that's what. Okay, yeah, for sure. Cause I like that. I like that show a lot, man. I just
Yeah,
like
man.
how you give
Appreciate
it
it
up,
though.
man. You real informational, man. For sure, man. You have a good day though, man. All right,
All
now
right,
the world.
Darius.
All right.
All right, that's what's up, my guy. D showed some love. That's what's up. Call me the therapist. You feel me? Nah, y'all know what it is, man. I just want to come on here, and talk that real and hopefully bring a different perspective. Someone, from a playing background and and things like that. But that was cool. All right, here we go. We got my guy. He came on yesterday. I'm gonna get this name right again. Karthik Madhu. Karthik Madhu. I think I said that right. I don't know that I did that same thing yesterday. How you doing, man? Good morning.
What's up, Eric? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you feeling right now? 49ers, as of right now, are in the 7th seed, and as long as they win Sunday, I think they'll even get bumped up to 6th seed. How do you feel about the 49ers
I'm
chances of being
feeling
able to make
great.
that happen?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I woke up today in a very happy mood. The Cowboys lost. That made me feel pretty happy. Not a big fan of the Cowboys, so I don't like McCarthy, man. I don't like
Why not?
McCarthy. And then, also, I just want to start off with a controversial topic, like about your thoughts. What were your thoughts about like the Anthony Brown versus Zay Jones, the pass interference call? What do you think about that?
Oh, so I tweeted it out. If you guys don't follow me,
Yeah,
at
yeah, I
Eric
saw
underscore
that.
Crocker on Twitter. And
I
so
just want to
I
know your
tweeted it
thoughts.
out, and this is my thing on it. I get it. Like for a receiver, like that's how you draw the penalty, right? Like when the ball's kind of underthrown, you want to jump back through a receiver, jump back through the defensive back, and ultimately that's going to force the penalty. So I
Yeah,
think he did everything he was supposed to do. Talking about Zay Jones, I think
I
from
don't
a
know.
defensive standpoint, it's tough because I watch it, and although he, obviously he didn't get his head back around, and again,
Yeah,
there's no rule because a lot of people think there's a rule that says if you don't get your head around, it's a flag. No, the rule is, are you impeding somebody's progress to move? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, and before the ball gets there. And no, he did not do that. Now he did go, he didn't get his head around. Now when the receiver jumped up, it looks like more contact than what it really was. And the ball just hits Brown in the back of the helmet. You know what I'm saying? It looked like there was like a lot of contact there. And some of it was just because the receiver reached around them. But I just thought, like, I don't think that's a flag. Now again, I know that it can go one way or the other. It's just I hate that a game, it the way the game goes changes on that. Now again,
yeah.
I hate the Cowboys. Cowboys taking the L, so I like that aspect of it. But just to just like games getting decided on a penalty like that, I hate it. I think that there should be a 15-yard penalty. And this is my thing. I think it should just be it should be like college, like high school football, where if it's past 15 yards, then it's just a 15-yard penalty. Here's my thinking on that. All right. And I know you probably didn't want to go into all this, but here's my thinking on it. Most people think that a DB will pass interfere if he's beat. My thing is, most DBs, that's not the way we think. Like, if you do get beat and you're going to pass interfere, a lot of times that happens under 15 yards because, maybe we got beat on a double move. So around 8 to 10 yards, somebody do a double move and you're able to collide because it's like, damn, he's just going to run by me. You might PI on in. Now, again, that's not 15 yards down the field. If we are down the field, I feel like if I'm close enough to grab you and intentionally pass interfere you, I'm also close enough to make a play on the ball. So you don't typically see guys, the ball is thrown in the air and okay, I'm gonna just grab him. Like now you might see a guy panic, but he's not doing that intentionally. He might panic because like, oh, is the ball gonna get there? And he might get his hand in there early, but that it's not an intentional thing. So I strongly believe that the way these games are being decided with guys throwing the ball down the field and with the alarming amount of numbers with pass interferences, I think it should be, if it's past 15 yards, it should just be a 15-yard penalty. Everything under 15 yards, it should be a spot foul. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But go ahead.
Yeah.
I know I went on a rant a little bit.
No, you're all good. I don't want to argue with you because you're a former defensive back. I'm just a 15-year-old coming on the show and talking 49ers. I just want to say, I just thought Anthony Brown, like, on that play, it was way past 5 yards, but, like, I kind of thought he stopped his progress because, like, he didn't turn his head around. He's playing the receiver, not the ball. I mean, I'm not a football player, but I'm just saying that were my thoughts, my first initial thoughts. He didn't play the ball. He played the receiver, which, like, what's that word? Avoided the receiver from actually getting his hands on the ball. But I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. But I'm not gonna argue with you. You're
No, I
smarter than
got
me.
you. I got you. I want to hear your perspective as well. So that's what's up. I like it that you have that thought process. You're thinking about that.
Now going back to the 49ers, exactly what you were saying before. Why don't people talk about Deebo Samuel? I get it. Justin Jefferson, he's good. He's breaking Randy Moss's record. And Adam Thielen is a great wide receiver too. And why is no one talking about Deebo, Ayuk, Kittle? Deebo is a great number one. He's just as good as Jefferson. Maybe Jefferson's proved a bit more. He's not as injury prone, but Thielen, we got Ayuk as our wide receiver too. Ayuk's coming up big these recent weeks. Great games these recent weeks. Rams against the Jaguars. And we got Kittle. Who's their tight end? Tyler Conklin. What does he have ever done in this league? I mean, not trying to like put any offense. He's good. No, I watched some of his highlights. He's got good hands, but we got Kittle. Like, I don't know why they're putting so much disrespect on Samuel. They're saying, oh, how can you stop Jefferson? How can you stop Samuel? He's more versatile. He can run the ball. He's great at running deep routes too. People think he's just this 5 yard like slant dig route, 15-yard dig route. He can run like 30-yard post, 20-yard post up the field.
Right.
I know Jefferson can do that, but like, come on, put some respect on this guy's name. So can Ayuk. Ayuk's fast. He can run those deep routes. Jimmy can hit those if he has the confidence. And then Kittle, second best tight end, I think, my opinion, after Kelsey. Come on. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think with everything, man, you start getting the wins and you do these things consistently. I think at that point, that's when guys start giving them that love, showing them that love.
I think people just take it from the perspective of the quarterback and how they play with their quarterback. Like, I think people just think Kirk Cousins is better than Jimmy. That's why they think the receivers will be better than the 49ers receivers. I think that's why they think like that. Maybe that's why. Right. Those are just my thoughts.
Right.
Also, this game, I just want Kyle to regret getting Kirk Cousins. Just get him off his mind and just think about Trey and stick with the future.
Yeah, eventually, man. But all right, man, I'm gonna get you off now. I appreciate you calling in, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Subscribe, like, you're the man. talk.
all
Have a good
right,
day.
all right, all good. Hey guys, we have an imposter in the chat here. My guy Jared Carter, what's good with you, man? So my guy Carter, I believe Carter, you're a Raiders fan, right? And we're friends today though because y'all beat the Cowboys, and BJ be tripping with his Cowboys and stuff. I bet he was being real disrespectful towards the Raiders, really probably writing y'all off, and y'all still beat the Cowboys ass. So if you ain't said nothing to BJ yet, man, you got to go talk to BJ and really rub it in his face because I know he was talking dirty about the Raiders, not giving y'all a chance or anything like that. So and then he gonna message the group chat. Oh, I don't even care. I don't even really feel any type of way about this loss. Like, shut up. You're hella mad. So, Jared, man, my dog Carter, you gotta go. You gotta talk to BJ about that, bro. Anyways, here we go, my guy. Ryan, what's good, man? Ryan. Ricky
What's up,
Williams.
man? Top of the morning. How you doing?
Okay, there you go. Oh man,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
good. How you doing this morning?
What's up? We good? Nah, man, I'm good, man. Nice and full. Still.
Yeah. So how you feeling right now? The
Yeah,
49ers are
but
in a
yeah,
good
man.
position to potentially I think there's some delay or something. Can,
Are we good
can you
now?
hear me? I can hear
Yeah, I
you,
can hear
but
you.
I think I'm okay. Hold on. We got to get my guy Ryan. So I can hear you, Ryan, but I think there's like a delay because it's like you know what I'm saying. So I don't know. You maybe want to try to click out and then try to come back in and see if that helps. Anyway, before we get Ryan back on, man, make sure you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to YouTube channel, hit the like button, man. We're on here just talking about the 49ers against the Vikings again. I like everything about this matchup for the 49ers. I think these teams are evenly matched. I think they do a lot of things well, and I think ideally they want to win in similar fashion, really, focusing on the run game and letting everything work off of that, play some defense. Thing is, both of these teams have been really up and down. I think 49ers offense in this game isn't getting as much love as the Vikings offense for whatever reason, but I think the 49ers, obviously do a lot of really good things that, will contribute to a win, hopefully, in this game against the Vikings. So, we'll see. But here we go. Let's see if my guy Ryan back on. What's good, man? Are we good now?
Are we Gucci? We good?
I think so.
Yeah. I went in and out like a hamburger. Hopefully we Gucci now.
Yeah, I think it's just like delayed a little bit, but we're good. Go ahead. How you feeling about this upcoming game?
Nah, man, I think we should all right. I was listening to Howard Cosell, or I think it was Greg Cosell, the one who does on the NFL films. He was breaking down the Vikings and their offense and their defense, and he was saying that like their defense been in cover two all year long because their secondary has been real suspect. They haven't been getting what they wanted out of Patrick Peterson. He has extremely regressed, and Dantzler has been up and down. The safeties have been good as well, but um, teams have been able to go into that game knowing that they're going to get in cover two and stay there. We know what the linebackers are going to be. They got three decent or good linebackers, and the defensive line is shifty. So I think if Kyle come in there, not saying we got to run the ball 40 times a game, but establish that physicality and that willingness to go in there and play next in the trenches, I think we should be good on that end. Hopefully we throw a couple play action fakes in, man. I wouldn't mind seeing, Brandon you get a nice little bum because as the young kid was saying, why don't Ayuk and Deebo get this type of notoriety on the big screen? It's mainly because of consistency. We know for certain over the last 2 years, they've always had Thielen, they've always had Jefferson, they always had Kirk Cousins playing. So when you have that longevity of consistent bombs, consistent 1,000-yard, consistent 8+ touchdowns over the last 2 years, people are going to notice you because of the fantasy football and because of the Vikings and who they are, you know what I'm saying, as an organization. So I think that's probably why Deebo, Kittle, and Ayuk don't get that type of notoriety. They just been too inconsistent, and we kind of been losing far as, early in the year. But right now we are doing a little better. But even now, Kittle numbers aren't really outstanding as a tight end compared to the other ones we see in the league today. But to say that on the offensive end, though, man, I think we should be able to dominate The D line is kind of shaky over there in the Vikings, and I think our secondary will be able to hold Thielen and Jefferson down. I think Hufanga will play a real big part in this game today. We got to be careful of the quick screen game, not only with the ball screen or the jailbreak screens with Jefferson and Thielen, but also the screen game with Cook. Dalvin Cook has some exceptional hands coming out the backfield. He can catch it. He can go straight north. He can go east and west, man, do a little shake and bake if you want to. And our linebackers have to be ready. Our edges have to be ready to stay protecting the edges because you know how the zone runs are with that team. That really are edge teams. And so, man, I think if we just stay consistent on our assignments, don't try to overdo nothing. Let Hufanga come in there because I think we all know what Jimmy Ward gonna do to the tight end. He gonna put him on locks. Tart gonna make
Yeah.
sure nobody get nothing back, back in the back. Allow Hufanga just to play off instincts, reading the screen, reading those little short patterns, and allow him to lay the wood down and hit them boys. And I think we should come out there with a dub for the Niners on Sunday.
Right, man. I love everything you said, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
All right, so let's go down to Empire. Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, that's my guy Ryan right there. Appreciate him coming on. We're gonna be getting out of here in just a little bit. If you guys have any other questions or anything you guys want to go over, go ahead, plug those into the chat. Appreciate everybody that's in here right now. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Again, Underdog Fantasy promo code Crocky. We'll look into a little bit of Underdog Fantasy. They got the matchups now for the 49ers. So you already know. Yesterday we did this, and I want you guys to help me with this today. And let me know what I should do here. All right, what plays I should have for the 49ers game. So here we go. We got here's the matchups right now for the 49ers against the Vikings. Here's the over-unders. All right, so there's a couple of different ways you can do it. All right, you can do over-unders, which we'll pick some of these, right? See, a lot of Deebo, George Kittle, all those guys. There's also rivals. So you have you can do pick'ems or you can do rivals. So rivals, and just go to straight football in the film. Or they don't have the rivals yet. All right, so we're just going to go straight over-under NFL. All right, and we're just going to go to this game. We're just going to pick from this game. So let's start with the 49ers. Do we think that Jimmy Garoppolo throws an interception? All right, or more? What's more likely with Jimmy and his over under props? Because I can only pick one Jimmy Garoppolo one. So you guys want to do the over under on yards, the over under on touchdowns, which is a touchdown and a half? Do you guys think he's going to throw 2 tugs, or do you think there's a chance he's throwing an interception? Out of these 3, which one should we go with, and are we going to do the over on or the under on that one? So y'all let me know. Jimmy Garoppolo, should we go with the interceptions, the yards, or the touchdown passes? I'm thinking touchdown passes, and I want to do the over. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will throw 2 touchdowns. I also think he might throw 1 pick. Right? He's been pretty clean lately with the ball. I feel like that 1 pick is coming, especially when he's playing against Kendricks. What do y'all think we should do? Touchdowns or interception? I feel like interception coming against the Packers. Yeah, I mean, Vikings. Yeah, I can see that as well, man. Vikings defense ranked 21st, 49ers third. Did not know that about the Vikings defense, 21st. See, y'all leaning pick like me. That's why I'm leaning towards pick. Jimmy has never gone 3 straight games without throwing a pick. I don't want to jinx it though. Like, I don't want to get it in. Him be the reason, us be the reason why. But I am gonna go. I'm gonna go the over on interception. I think he might give up 1. Nah, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna go with the touchdowns. I don't even want to put that bad juju on him. All right, here we go. I think another good one right here is just because of the usage with Kyle Juszczyk, I'm gonna go the over on his receiving yards. Right? Do we think Juszczyk will have, 8 or more receiving yards? I think so, with the way that they've kind of been utilizing him, and all it takes is really 1 catch. Can we get 1 catch from Juszczyk, and that'll likely be 8+ yards? So what do y'all think? I'm thinking with Juszczyk, pick the over. All right. And let's see. Let's go to some of these props for the Vikings. They got that's scary, right? Why there's such a big difference between Justin Jefferson's over under 87.5 and Adam Thielen at 59.5. What are we gonna do, y'all? What are we gonna do? What should we play here? Here are the Vikings over unders. What should we play? I'm leaning towards under on Cousins yards. 49ers just haven't really been giving up a ton of yards. Not saying it can't happen, but it just seems like that's not something that has happened consistently. All right. That's the one I feel most comfortable, confident with. What about y'all? What do y'all think? Under for Kirk. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Juice only has 20 receiving yards? That's got to be wrong, right? Because didn't he have one down the sideline where he jumped over a person? Oh. Let's see Kyle Juszczyk's stats. Right, no, he has 19 catches, 173 yards, and he's averaging over 9 yards a catch. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, I'm gonna go with those that over for oh, you say he'll get 20 this game. Okay, I agree. Vikes, unfortunately. Okay, I think over for both. So here we go. Where am I at? We're gonna go the under for Kirk Cousins. I'm thinking the under for Jefferson, but it only takes that one big play to really kick things off. And the 49ers haven't been the team to give up that big play, but if they are going to, Justin Jefferson is a guy to get it. So I kind of want to stay away from that. I'm going to stick to more 49ers stuff. Jimmy Garoppolo, we're going to go with the over on his touchdown passes. I think he'll get 2. Use check, we got 7.5. And Deebo Samuel or George Kittle. I think George Kittle, he didn't have a big game last game. I'm going to go with the over on George Kittle. I think that's it for my over-under. I think that's the max. Oh, no, I can pick one more. Let's do Deebo's receiving yards. I'm going to go Deebo's receiving yards. I'm going to hit the over on that. So there we go. I think that's what we're going to do. Here's it right here. We're going to put $10 on that. All right, that $10, that'll have us collect 200. All right, so what we're going with, Jimmy, the over on his touchdowns, we're saying he's going to get 2 touchdowns. Use check, just need him to get 8 or more receiving yards. Kirk Cousins, the under on his passing yards. George Kittle over 60 and Deebo over 70. That's what I'm going with, y'all. So that right there, that's going to pay out $200. So you risk 10, collect 200. All right, that's what we're going with. Confirm. Here we go. Can I share this? Let's see. I'll wait to share it. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. So that's how Underdog Fantasy works. Again, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe button. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Crocky. Underdog Fantasy. So if y'all want in on this action, what I just did, I just risked $10. That $10 to get me paid out 200 if it hits. So yeah, you guys go ahead, get in on that action too. That's Underdog Fantasy right there. But yeah, y'all, man, that's going to do it for today's show. We came on, talked a little bit about the game, the Vikings against the 49ers. I really like the 49ers in this game. I do think these teams are evenly matched. Big thing with the 49ers, don't do anything to shoot yourself in the foot. As long as they don't do that, 49ers should be fine. And that's been the thing more times than not with the 49ers. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. 49ers don't hurt themselves. I think they'll be just fine. But appreciate everybody that's in here, everybody that contributed to the show. Shout out to all y'all. Matter of fact, I see a contribution that I didn't get to. Hold on. I feel like there was one. Here we go. If Ford plays, does he have an impact in this game? Great question. Yes. Yes, he does. And it sounds like he's gonna play, right? Like that's what they said. It seems like they are leaning towards. Yeah. Definitely Ford gonna play. I think he's gonna impact it. He's probably only gonna get limited amount of snaps. So we're talking about, potentially 15 snaps. And it's like, okay, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What is he gonna do in those 15 snaps? And I think that's where it's just scream off the edge, just purely passing situations. Don't have him, you don't got to be in running situations or anything like that. Just come off that edge, force the pocket, collapse the pocket on Kirk Cousins. I think this would be a big game for him. And again, he only has to make an impact on so many third down plays. We just need him force Cousins off of his spot on a few plays, even if it doesn't result in a sack. Just make him move. I think that's where the 49ers are going to be best with Ford. So definitely think that he's going to help. Absolutely an impact, like my guy Anthony said. Absolutely. But yeah, y'all, that's going to do it for today's episode. Underdog Fantasy. Go download that right now. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Crocky. Also, Manscaped. Again, they still got the Black Friday stuff going on right now. Still got the Black Friday sales going on. All right, so Manscaped right now, 25% off the entire site. Just make sure you use promo code Crocky so they know where you came from. But until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked up by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Cross Talk TV podcast. Peace.